Hey guys, it's Fred. Thanks for joining me. Hatfield McCoy Museum. Sheila's not here right now. She's working on another video. We've been on spring break, more or less running around. Got back, had a couple of messages. I had a few messages concerning Nancy Hatfield, Cap Hatfield's wife, concerning Big Jim McCoy, been the Peacemaker, labeled the Peacemaker of the McCoy family and so forth. And I just wanted to cover a couple of things. I started to do a big video on it, and then as I started looking back through the videos that Sheila's got on her YouTube channel, Hatfield's McCoy's Museum Adventures, over 500 videos there, guys. Just about anything that's come up on the feud, if it's provable or debatable one way or the other, we've debated it or proved it. Same way with this. This one here was Nancy Hatfield. She was Cap's wife, also his first cousin. Her mother, Emma, and Devil Anse were brothers and sisters. Her and Cap married each other after her husband had been waylaid and killed. And questionable about that. We've covered that. We've covered all this stuff in videos. Like I said, I started to do a complete video, and then why repeat everything? There's videos back through our library there that you can look at on Nancy. You know, Nancy, this Howard B. Lee book, he done a book, this guy did, way back in the 70s. And he had interviewed Nancy, and what people don't realize is, and that's where a lot of these stories come from over the years, is the fact that people back then had dementia and Alzheimer's just like they do today. You know, Nancy's one of the ones that said that Randall McCoy had come and visited Cap right before he died. Cap died in 1930. Randall McCoy died in 1914. So we know that didn't happen. That's impossible. And that's some of the things. But yet, this author, he went ahead and wrote it into history. He put that in his book. Anybody that read that later on in years that didn't know the death dates of these two gentlemen, you wouldn't know that Randall McCoy never visited Cap Hatfield. He was dead. Now, they've also got a story I seen, or that was sent to us, and it was talking about Sam McCoy, the Peacemaker. Guys, Sam McCoy, there is the newspaper article. That is the newspaper article where Sam McCoy stated himself that he would never forgive Devil Anse Hatfield and his family or friends, whatever it was that he says in there. We've done a complete video on it. Sam McCoy was not known as the Peacemaker. Sam McCoy was known as the Peacemaker. Sam McCoy is the one that was there when Cap Hatfield took off running to the woods, and Jim Vance had opened up fire on the posse after they'd burnt the cabin down, and he's the one that was trying to keep the peace before all that happened. And Jim McCoy, Big Jim McCoy, he didn't come into play until after Devil Anse was dead. He didn't come into play until there was nobody as far as that was involved in the feud. He didn't make up with. He made up with Tennis Hatfield. Tennis Hatfield was the youngest son of Devil Anse's, the youngest son. He was a little kid when the feud was even going on. If he was even born, he wasn't even born at the beginning of it, but even towards the end, he was just a child. So he would have had nothing to do with the feud, and that's when him and Big Jim McCoy shook hands, 1928, more or less. That was the peace treaty. That was the original peace treaty between him and Jim McCoy. But now Jim McCoy was not a peacemaker for years. Again, he said he would never forgive them until each one of them was brought to justice and so forth. But if you want to see the videos, extensive videos on these characters, we've got it in the library in Sheila's YouTube channel. You just have to look back through them. A lot of people questions, they'll say, what about this person? What about that? Well, you haven't looked through the videos, because if you had, we've probably covered those people in one way or the other, either proving somebody right on what they said or or proving them wrong, or actually even just saying, we don't know, because nobody knows everything about the whole feud. You just have to go by documentation. You can't go by books. You can't go by what's been written in the history or spoken in the history. Again, Elizabeth, she either had some dementia, some Alzheimer's, or maybe Mr. Lee made a mistake and copied down the wrong thing that she had said. Who knows? We wasn't back there then. Guys, this is just going to be a short video. I started to do a longer version and really cover in depth the emails and the text messages that we've got while we've been gone. But there's no need. It's been covered. You just have to go back through there and find the videos that pertains to whatever it is. You know, Nancy's the one that said that Cap went to law school, but said he had to return home because the feud regenerated. The feud was over in 1890. The feud was over. This was supposed to have been way up in the 1900s when he was going to, there was no feud going on 1900s that he would have had to return. And we've got videos on that where went to all the law schools or contacted all the law schools, the bar associations. Cap had died before most of the bar associations were ever even established. All these things are proven in those videos. If you really want to research the feud, if you want to know with evidence, with documentation, go back and look. It's there. And if it's not there, then it probably don't exist in writing or documentation form, because we have searched and searched and searched everything that there is. So once again, thanks for joining me. Talk to you later.